In this video, I'm going to answer one super simple question, and that is this Sigma 85 1.4 worth the upgrade from the Sony 85 1.8? Let's get started. So the reason I'm even entertaining this question is because I love the 85mm focal length. It's my absolute favorite focal length just because it produces stunning photos, right? With those super blurred out backgrounds. And it's the stuff that, you know, when you're working with a couple or any kind of client, really, those are the photos that they're looking for, right? That it's just, it gives you that photographer look and feel. And it's things that, you know, an iPhone, no matter how great they're getting, it just can't replicate that, right? An 85mm prime gives you that look. And so for the last 2 years, I've been super happy with the Sony 85 1.8. And honestly, you can't beat this lens for value, right? Because you can pick this up for like $500 and it's super sharp, it's super light, the autofocus is fast, and honestly, it's absolutely the value champ for the Sony system, in my opinion. You can't get a better value Sony lens than the Sony 85 1.8. So that being said, it does everything that I could possibly need from an 85mm, right? So honestly, when we're looking at the question, is it worth the upgrade? First of all, let's start with it. Do you need the upgrade? And you don't. You honestly don't. It does everything you could possibly need. Now, that being said, for me, because it is my favorite focal length, I like to work with really quality glass. And not that it's not quality glass, but knowing that there's an option out there that could potentially be a better option and I could serve my couples even better with this higher quality lens, I want to entertain that. Right? I want to look into that and see what that is going to look like. And so I had been contemplating the 85 Sigma for a long time, right? For literally like a year, I had been contemplating it, wanting to upgrade, not being really able to justify the purchase just because of how good the Sony is. And so boom, I just did it one day, you know, just out of the blue. I was like, you know what? I have, you know, the funds, let's just do it. I did. And right off the gate, I was absolutely blown away with the autofocus, the image quality, the sharpness. Shooting at 1.4 is just really fun too. And it could be the 1.4, but honestly, I think it's just the lens itself. It has a way of just separating the background from the subject. The bokeh fall off is just, can the client notice it? I don't know. I don't really think they can. I think they'll be impressed with either one, right? But for me personally, I like to know that I'm working with the best quality glass so that I can produce the best quality work for my couples, right? And so upgrading to the Sigma was really, in some ways, unnecessary, right? Again, because the Sony is so great. But shooting with the Sigma, it is a game changer. It absolutely, you know, it's a little bit heavier, it has a little bit more of distortion, but it produces even punchier photos, which is hard to imagine because of how good the Sony is. And so honestly, for me, should you upgrade to the Sigma 85? Honestly, I think you should. If you love the 85mm focal length and you use it a lot, which I do, it's honestly worth the upgrade because again, that quality, and it's so sharp, the contrast is there, the background separation is there, the autofocus is there, which was a concern of mine, you know, because anytime you use Sony lenses on a Sony camera, you're gonna get the best autofocus. And so for me, I had never used a Sigma lens, and so I wasn't sure how the autofocus was gonna be, but man, the Sigma 85 blew me out of the water. Like, it was so good right off the gate. So honestly, that's my opinion. As a wedding photographer, I use the 85mm almost every weekend for 8+ hours, and it has not let me down. It's actually really surprised me. Hope this was helpful, and I hope this helps you make an informed decision on whether you want to upgrade your Sony to the Sigma. Do you need to? No. Should you? If you're using it a lot, I think you should.